fashion industry is that it relies on consumerism and new trends. The more clothes people buy, the happier the industry is.
Yes, but for this week's podcast in English.com, we're looking at how we can be fashionable and save the planet at the same time.
Richie, did you know that there was a problem with buying cotton things?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yes, it uses a lot of water.
Yeah, and it has a really negative impact on the environment as a result. And also pesticides. They use a lot of pesticides. So people are trying to turn away from using cotton.
That's interesting, because it has got a reputation of being a natural fibre. But it does use a lot of water. So what are the alternatives then, Jackie?
Well, not polyester, Richard.
No, because I don't like polyester.
Do you know it takes 200 years to decompose in landfill, polyester clothes?
Wow.
I know. So, in fact, the industry is looking at making clothes out of things like hemp.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Bamboo.
Bamboo clothes?
Yes, and lyocell, which is made from...
Lyocell. Wool, is it?
No, it's eucalyptus trees.
Eucalyptus.
Yeah. Okay, something else is less is more.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it doesn't really count for us, but actually people are buying more and more clothes.
I know. And their clothes are very cheap, aren't they? So that's why people buy clothes and then just throw them away afterwards.
Cheap clothes, often poorly made.
Yes.
And replaced every year, ending up in landfill.
Yes.
Okay, so it's much better to buy more expensive but better quality items.
Well, we've been doing that for years.
Yeah, but on the whole, I think it's become the norm not to do that. Don't shop, swap.
Right.
Okay, sometimes you're bored with the clothes that you're wearing, so I just don't want to wear that anymore. But there is a possibility that you might have a friend who would like to wear it.
Yes.
So you say, okay, I don't want to wear this shirt anymore. I'm fed up with it. Would you like it? And have you got something that I could have of yours?
Is that the same as buying at the second-hand shops?
Well, that's buying, isn't it, Richard, rather than swapping. But if you do want to get some money for your clothes, it is possible, of course, to buy and sell second-hand clothes online.
Right, okay. I think the problem with that is, though, you're talking about fashion as well. As fashions change.
That's a very good point, Richard. But actually, a lot of second-hand clothes have become more fashionable now.
Again, retro.
Yeah, vintage.
Right, okay.
And sites like Etsy and eBay are very popular for buying second-hand clothes.
And as we know, trends come and go and they come back again, don't they?
Exactly. Something else to think about, Richard.
Right.
Learn to sew. Now, do you remember...
I'm not sure about that one.
No, but do you remember, it wasn't that long ago that someone like your dad, once the collar on his shirt wore out, what did your mum do?
Got a new collar. They had collarless shirts, didn't they? And they replaced the collar.
Or not necessarily replace the collar. They turn it round and it's as good as new because the worn bit is now at the back and you can't see it.
Okay, I didn't know that, but I'll buy that.
So learn to sew or find a repair service.
Yes, Jackie, all these things are all well and good, but I think at the end of the day, you've really just got to buy things that you really need and really, really want.
Yes.
Ask yourself, how often am I going to wear this thing? Do I really need it? Have I got something similar that I already wear? My mum, she used to buy clothes and then tell me she'd never worn them.
Yeah, so it's a change of attitude, isn't it?
Let's learn some English expressions and idioms from the podcast, along with their meanings, explanations, and examples.
Not so long ago, meaning refers to something that happened recently in the past. Explanation. This phrase sets a casual and conversational tone to introduce a recent event. Example. Not so long ago, I decided to start learning a new language. Hand over, meaning to give something, especially when it is required or requested. Explanation often implies transferring possession or responsibility. Example, to enter the competition, you need to hand over the entry fee. At least, meaning a minimum amount or number, emphasizes the smallest acceptable level. Explanation indicates the lower limit of something. Example, you need to save at least $500 for the trip. Multiple choice, meaning the type of question where you choose the correct answer from several options. Explanation, commonly used in exams or tests to simplify answering. Example, the quiz was easy because all the questions were multiple choice. Let us down, meaning to disappoint someone or fail to meet their expectations. Explanation, often used when someone or something does not perform as hoped. Example, I thought the movie would be great, but it really let us down. Give you some example, meaning to provide specific instances to clarify or support a statement. Explanation helps in explaining or illustrating a point. Example, let me give you some examples to make it clearer. We've got no idea, meaning to be completely unaware or clueless about something. Explanation expresses uncertainty or lack of knowledge. Example, we've got no idea where he went after the meeting. Close together, meaning very similar or near in proximity, making it difficult to differentiate. Explanation, often used to describe similar options or things physically near each other. Example, the answers on the test were so close together that I couldn't decide which one was correct. Rather than, meaning instead of, used to show preference for one option over another. Explanation introduces an alternative that is preferred. Example, we should focus on practical knowledge rather than theoretical details. Useful questions, meaning questions that provide value or practical knowledge. Explanation highlights the importance or relevance of information. Example, the exam had many useful questions that tested real-world knowledge.
Thanks for tuning into another episode of the English Daily Podcast. We hope you learned something new and enjoyed our conversation. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave us a review to help others discover the podcast. You can also follow us on insert social media or platform details for more English tips and updates. Stay curious, keep practicing, and we'll see you next time on the English Daily Podcast. Take care and happy learning!